You didn't find this by accident. This message must be meant for you. They went to a party, music, friends, normal night. And then gunfire, chaos, screaming, and just like that, 2 teenagers never made it home. Some say, this is just the world now. Others say, no, something is seriously broken. But here's the part nobody agrees on. How does a moment meant for joy turn into something families never recover from? Because this didn't start with the shots. It started before that. So what does God say when celebration and violence collide? Because what the Torah, the Gospel, and the Quran say about this might not just explain what happened. It might expose what we're ignoring. Here's what happened. In Amarillo, Texas, teenagers gathered for a party, normal, something that happens every weekend. But then something shifted. Gunfire broke out. 2 teens were killed. 10 others were wounded. Let that sit for a second. 2 lives ended. 10 more changed forever. Families waking up to news they never imagined. Parents asking questions they don't have answers to. This is where it gets messy. Because this isn't just about crime. It's about trust, safety, the idea that your kids can go out and come back home. And now people are asking, how does something like this keep happening? And here's the tension. Some people want answers. Others just feel numb. But nobody agrees on where this actually starts. And this is where faith steps in. Here's what's interesting. The Torah doesn't just talk about violence. It tries to stop it before it starts. It says, you shall not murder. Exodus 20:13. Simple. Clear, but that's not the full picture. It also says, do not stand idly by while your neighbor's blood is shed. Leviticus 19:16. That changes everything. Because now it's not just about the person who pulled the trigger. It's about everyone who saw something and did nothing. Everyone who ignored warning signs. Everyone who thought, that's not my problem. But here's what people are missing. Judaism doesn't just condemn the act. It asks, what could have been done before this moment? Now this might challenge how you see yourself. Because Jesus doesn't just talk about violence. He talks about what leads to it. Not just violence, anger itself. Because that's where it starts. And then this, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Matthew 5-9. Not people who avoid conflict, people who step in. People who interrupt the path before it turns into something worse. But here's what most are missing. Christianity doesn't just ask you to avoid harm. It asks you to actively create peace. Now listen to this. The Quran is very direct about the value of life. It says, whoever kills a soul, it is as if he had slain mankind entirely. One life equals all humanity. So what does that mean when 2 teens are gone? And then this. And do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Even when emotions are high, you are still responsible. But here's what stands out. Islam doesn't ignore anger. It demands control over it. Because once anger takes over, the consequences don't just affect one person. They ripple. So what do all 3, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, say together? Life is sacred. Violence is never justified, and what happens before the moment matters. That's what people keep missing. We keep reacting to the outcome, the headlines, the tragedy, the aftermath, but we don't deal with what leads up to it. This is where it gets uncomfortable, because it means this isn't just about them, it's about all of us. The anger and violence we normalize, the warning signs we ignore, the moments we stay silent when we should speak up. And here's the hard truth. It's easy to say this is tragic. It's harder to ask, what are we allowing to grow? So now this turns to you, not the headlines, not the shooter, you. Because moments like this don't just happen out of nowhere. They build. So ask yourself, have I ever seen someone spiraling? and said nothing? Have I ever ignored something because it felt uncomfortable? Have I ever thought, someone else will handle it? This is where it gets more uncomfortable. Are you creating peace or just hoping for it? Are you paying attention or looking away? Because at the center of all of this are two families who will never be the same again, and 10 more still trying to recover. So what would you do if it was someone you loved? Because that's the standard, not distance, not opinion, responsibility. So don't just see the story. Don't just feel the sadness. See the people and ask yourself, what role do I play in stopping the next one? Because in the end, peace doesn't happen by accident. It happens when someone chooses it. So don't just see the situation, see the person. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and head over to our YouTube page for more content like this.